In this video, we're going to be talking about one of the most important bits of kit when it comes to miniature painting, your lights. Now, for years, I have used a very basic LED daylight lamp that I got off Amazon. It wasn't very expensive. I use it for all my filming. So I was really excited when Redgrass reached out and asked me to do a review on their brand new R9 Solo lamp. Now, full disclosure, Redgrass has sponsored the channel for a very long time. They sent me the lamp for free and they are sponsoring this video. However, they haven't asked me to say anything specific. They've just asked me to share my thoughts with all my viewers. So it looks like a pretty nifty bit of kit. Let's jump in. Let's unbox the R9 Solo. So in the package that I've got, there's the Redgrass bag, so you can actually take Solo with you when you go traveling. You've got the Solo lamp itself, which is actually much bigger than I anticipated it being, so that's nice. It's going to cover a lot of surface area. Got some really basic instructions here as well about how to turn it on and off and how to operate the dimmer switch function as well. Next up, we've got the base. Now there's a fair old weight to this as well, and it's worth saying this is designed specifically for the R9 Solo. It's not designed to work with the original R9 lamp. And finally, we have the plug and power cord. So that's everything out of the box. Now, the first thing that strikes me, this is very, very smart. I really like the design. I really like the colors. That matte black is fantastic. And the red lead really does stand out against it. So let's have a look at setup. Now, as you can probably see from this, it's remarkably simple. You just unfold the lamp, pop it into the stand, and away we go. And straight away, look how bright that light is. That is fantastic. So what is the Redgrass R9 Color Perfect technology? Well, due to the high-end LED chips and the custom-made optical lens, everything's been carefully designed to offer the best color experience ever created. So a standard color rendering index, for example, only analyzes 8 out of 15 colors, excluding some of the key colors that we use as miniature painters, such as red, yellow, and skin tones. The Redgrass R9 Color Perfect blasts this out of the water and analyzes all 15 of those colors. So it should give us a much better color experience, a much better viewing experience when we're actually painting and viewing our models under this light. I guess it's really important to see how it works and how it performs. So we're going to do two things. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some filming like I would for any normal painting tutorial. On one side of the screen we'll have my Amazon light, and on the other side we'll have the R9 Solo. And this is to see if there's any real difference in terms of the brightness, the quality, and all of the different colors coming through that we've learned about when we're talking about some of the tech specs of this light. Now, the camera settings will be exactly the same for both tests. They're the same settings I use for all my videos, so hopefully we should be able to have a good, fair comparison. The second thing we're going to do, and this is just for fun really, and it's an excuse to look at some fully painted models, is we're going to compare them under each light to see how the difference comes through and if there is any at all. So again, the camera settings will be exactly the same, but we will be using the two different lights to see how we perceive those colors and whether or not the R9 Solo does what it says on the box. Let's have a little look, starting with some red. So we're going to paint some of these Hernkin engineers, and we're going to start with Mephiston red, and you can see straight away that the R9 Solo actually is a lot lighter and a lot brighter, and you can see a lot more detail of the model, and as a result that red is a lot more vivid. And if you compare the two models under the R9, you can see it really does pop. Then we do some contrast paint for this, some Bad Moon Yellow. And again, you can see with the old Amazon daylight bulb, it just seems a little bit dark, a little bit dull. But when you compare that to the brightness and the richness you get with the R9 Solo, it really is something else. Now, I guess there's not a huge amount of difference to be seen on this at the moment, but I wonder as it dries, whether or not that color will really start to come through. So now that that yellow is starting to dry, you can see under the R9 Solo, it really is starting to pop. And I'm really, really happy with how that looks. So for the next test, we'll do something a bit more complex, and we'll do some skin tones, and we'll do a little bit more rather than just painting the one color. So I've just taken some Kislev flesh, and I'm using this to base away, and you can see on the R9 Solo, never mind the skin tones, you can see the vividness and how bright that yellow is. That's really, really nice. And again, everything's just a bit dull with the old light. I've done a little bit of a wash, so just going back in and highlighting back up with some brighter colors. Again, on the Solo, you can see that it's a lot crisper, a lot more clear, whereas on the old Amazon daylight bulb, it just kind of all blends into itself a little bit, and it's not quite as bright and vivid. Looking at both these models under the Amazon light, you can see they look okay, but there isn't anywhere near as much vivid color coming through. In comparison to the R9 Solo, you can see it really punches up some of that contrast, and you really see some of the blending that you've got going on there, as well as the highlights. So I'm impressed so far. Let's see how finished models compare. So first up we have lumens, and well, you can see for yourself, I'm actually really surprised. I mean, just the colour on lumens is amazing. I mean, even with the sanguine there as well. I mean, it's not just the fact that it's much brighter and lighter, just the colours really being drawn out of it. And you can really see it here on the Stormcast model. It's a really fantastic difference. That blue is really popping. And then on the Clawlord, looking at that red, you can really see the detail on the red and the different shades. It doesn't all look one shade like it does on the original. Let's have a look at some of the tech specs on the R9 Solo. And this contains the same technology that's in the award-winning R9 light that Redgrass released recently. And that comes with the ultimate color experience with the R9 Color Perfect, which I'll try and explain in layman terms very shortly. You've got the Solo rotating LED bar, so you can adjust the angle of the light with 48 innovative LEDs. It's dimmable as well, from 10% to 100%, and it gives you pure white daylight at 5000 kelvins with 1100 lumens. In terms of other features with the light, it's shadowless, it's flicker free. Again, you can see that in the video, there's absolutely no flicker. There's no glare tech, and it's EMC safe, and there's no blue light hazard either. When it comes to the lamp itself, it's lightweight and foldable. It's got a really nice premium metal build. And as I've already noted, it's completely transportable as well. So there we have it. That is the brand new R9 Solo from Redgrass Creative. I'm actually quite impressed with the difference in colour, and this is going straight onto my painting table, and every video that you see from now on will have the R9 Solo powering all of the lighting. I wasn't really expecting there to be such a big difference between the models. I think sometimes until you actually have a premium product like this, you don't always notice the difference. And like I said, I've been happy plugging away with my little Amazon USB light for years and years and years. But it's really nice to have something like this, and it's also a bonus that it's portable. So if I'm going to give somebody a painting lesson or I'm teaching a class, I can take the lamp with me. I don't have to worry too much about how that setup's going to look when I get there. I know that I'll have the best quality lighting available. If you're interested in the R9 Solo, then hit the link in the description. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this as informative and useful as I did making it. I'll see you next time.